Hello and welcome everyone. Let me get this music turned down a little bit so you can hear me okay. There we go. Welcome everybody to a brand new week here at World Radio League. We're super excited for all the fantastic things we've got coming this week. We, as y'all know, have just been through a database upgrade, and we are absolutely strained at the seams, but we're pulling through, and well, we'll get into that here in a little bit. I have with me a very special guest today. Let me go ahead and bring in the World Radio League CEO, Chief Executive Officer, James N0WRL himself. Come on in, James. Good to have you.
Hello, Andy. I'm enjoying these intros. I feel like they're getting better every single time. Well done, sir.
Comes with practice. All right. So glad to see everybody hopping in here. We've got 75 viewers already, which that might be a record. That's close to a record. But yeah, we got comments pouring in. We've already got our good friend Caleb KF8EYE just passed his tech using ham radio prep. Great to see you, Caleb. And a bunch of the regulars. We got Dave KE6GAE. We got Michael in the house, Rodney AE5TX, Jacob AI5XR, a bunch of old friends, Pepe HB9EVT, a bunch of y'all. Good to see you. We got Terry KQ4MDM. Good to see you, Terry. And we'll get to some more of these comments later, but just
look, we've got Argentina in the house. Buenas tardes.
Awesome.
We have Portugal. Boa tarde, Luis. I think we've got Pepe here today too. So we've got representation from around the world even.
Absolutely. It is the World Radio League, so that's to be expected. So all right, so just as an opener here to give y'all a quick update, we did have our database upgrade last week. Went live on Tuesday. Tuesday was one of the most intense days to date in World Radio League history because processing the go live and everything, we had to minimize downtime as much as possible, which I think we did. We scheduled the downtime and literally came out within minutes of being perfect. I think we finished up like 10 minutes early or something like that. But yeah, things went pretty well. We've had, of course, a week full of catching up. We this database upgrade really ate up our development time over the past several weeks, and so we've been playing catch up. We've also had a few issues here and there, and we'll cover a few of those here in just a little bit that are in the queue right now, being worked on as we speak actively. So we want to cover those so y'all know exactly what's causing that. We want y'all to know there's the data. All the data is secure, completely secure. All the issues that we're having are all front end issues, and so it's like, it looks like something's missing, but it's not. And anyway, that type of thing. So we're working through that, and we'll kind of walk through a few of those. But James, you want to go ahead and share some updates from your perspective there?
I would love to, and I know I'm gonna harp on this database upgrade just for a little bit of time here.
This was one of the most significant advancements that we've had in our platform's history. I mean, our new database is set to take us for the next couple of years as we scale up to tens and even hundreds of millions of contacts. But I know for some of you guys who are watching the live stream, it may not feel like that. Like if you've had a bug or you've had some sort of issue, you're probably saying, hey, what the heck? We got this new database, but I'm experiencing this bug. That is temporary. And so the first thing is, if you do have a bug, just mash that report a bug button. Please do not hesitate to let us know. We want you to let us know if you have an issue, and we will get into it. And we do have a few known issues that I can go through today. But just to give you guys some context, our old database that we are running off of is called Firebase, and it was a NoSQL based database that is really good for storing all different types of data, but it starts to have problems as you scale.
And so we got to the point where you guys were using the app so much, we were getting nearly 1,000 new users a week. We're getting 1 million new contacts a week, and trying to get Firebase to do analytics on that type of data was like asking a fish to climb a tree. Like the analytics were starting to get slower and slower, and it became to the point we said, okay, we got to go all in. And so what we moved to is a new Postgres SQL database, which is absolutely super awesome and performant. If you click through the app these days, you're going to notice that the app is snappier, it's more responsive, your leaderboards are going to load faster, your analytics are going to load faster, and there's even further enhancements that we can do. But that said, and I'll also say we moved over all of the data from Firebase, tens of millions of records, with about a 98% or higher accuracy on the data moving over. So there's some very minor data issues. We still have all of the data in Firebase backed up. So if you miss something, but yes, 100%.
I would say
relational.
Yeah, I would say by the end of like day 2, we had that last 2% pretty much resolved, and then also there were a few issues. Let me just hit this one issue really quick. We had a few issues with users using the old version of the mobile app or the Cat Control app. See, that gets pushed into our old backup database, so it's like out of sight from you. You can't see it in your account. If you had that issue, let us know. We can restore those contacts for you. But please, please, please update to Cat Control 1.0.4 or update to the latest version of the mobile app to make sure you're logging everything into the new web app. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, James.
Yeah, so I want to cover 2 things, which is what are some of the known issues that we have today, so you can kind of be on the lookout for them. And then I also want to just quickly cover the bug reporting and encourage everybody to cover the bugs. So some of the known issues that we have today is sign-in issues. So for some small set of users, you may have an issue where your sign-in stops working. Andy's been on calls all day working on that issue. He thinks he's got it figured out. So we're
like
gonna
almost there.
Yes, but let's say because you guys probably know about the report a bug button that's inside the platform. But let's say that you're not able to sign in. Well, there is a way that you can report a bug if you're not able to sign in too. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick screen share on that, so you guys can take a look at exactly what I'm seeing. So if you come in and you click login and you're on this screen and you have any issues with signing up, click the report a bug button that's here and then enter your email address right from there, and we'll be able.
Please put your call sign in there if you're able to. That helps us out a lot on our end.
Yes, and we are getting to all of those issues in the order of priority and the order of received. So we will get those. So there's some login issues. We've also had some contacts that are randomly mapping to Antarctica. We are trying to figure that out, but rest assured we will figure it out, reprocess the data. But if you've seen a contact that randomly shows you in Antarctica, we're working on that.
The location and lookup data is all there. I think it's on the mapping side. For some reason, there's just this weird glitch. Anyway, our developers are definitely in the middle of that one. We've got one developer. I think that was his primary job today was to work through that issue.
This one that Rodney's mentioning, where the QRZ is kind of disconnecting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having some of those. We are working on that. I think there are some issues where either Cat Control or QRZ is periodically getting disconnected. That's an authentication thing. We are working on that.
Yeah, I saw some messages in our internal chat earlier today. I think they about had that one nailed down, I believe.
Okay, so there you go. So those are some of the big things, but thanks everybody. I mean, you guys have been awesome. Thanks for the patience. For everybody that's reported a bug, we like every single bug or issue that you report, we take it like a gift. Some people, they don't want to hear about the bugs because they don't want to deal with it, but we take it as a gift. Like if you're taking your time to send us feedback and write, then we want to do everything we can to act on it.
And one of the yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. One of the other issues that we've had reported a couple times is, for some reason during the testing process, we had our stats capped at, like, it would only count up to 1,000 contacts per logbook. But we didn't get that cap pulled before we launched, so that's absolutely on the radar. We're going to be pulling that 1,000 contact cap in your individual logbook stats. A lot of people don't put all their contacts in one logbook, so it hadn't showed up until, there's some, about half users don't, half the users do. So when we had some users start pulling up stats on their logbooks that had, individual logbooks that had more than 1,000 contacts, that's when that showed up. So absolutely. James, looks like we also have in the house PD7AC. I'm not familiar. Let me look up this call sign, because this is a prefix I'm not familiar with. This is the Netherlands. So welcome, Theo,
nice.
from the Netherlands.
Awesome.
And Peter, he's been giving us some great feedback. Thank you, Peter. Good to hear. Good to see you in the chat here. We've got Keith from Montana. Let's see here. We've got from Turkey. We've got TB5DBC. I think this might be one of the most international streams we've done so far. This is a good one. We got Rosanna in here, KF8CYL. Rosanna, she was part of that 2% that we mentioned earlier that we finalized the fix for on day 2. So Rosanna is up and running and logging just fine with her account. So great to see you, Rosanna. You're very welcome for the help there. We've got let's see here. I'm scanning the chat here for questions, James. So go ahead, and if you want to hop in here while I'm looking for questions, I'll get them.
I want to just say we got a hi from Kenneth Tilford. KCA. Okay, this is Ken's kind of a celebrity around here, because he is, if you go to your leaderboard, Ken is the top of all time in contacts within World Radio League. And actually, kind of a cool thing is Ken was driving down to the Melbourne Hamfest in Florida. So he's going from Ohio to Florida, and Ken stopped by my house, which was really, really cool. I'm gonna see if I can. I'll see if I can pull up a picture.
Here's Michael. Michael's with Ken. KE8NHH. Him and Ken look like they're together. I think they might be doing a Podorov, maybe. Not sure, but great to see you guys.
Last I heard, I thought Ken bailed out on the Florida trip this time. Mike.
I think he's back, Michael. I think he's back and doing a Podorov, like a 10-park Podorov, maybe. I'm not sure. They're anyway. So they're together. So.
Okay, cool.
There's another Argentina, LU1VEN.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah. We actually, so Catalina, who is our company administrator, as well as helps on partnerships, is also from Argentina. I'll have to look up her call here in a second, because I don't know it off the top of my head.
Here's a comment from Brian. Good antenna install video, James, for the one you put on your house. So.
Thank you. I'm loving the antenna. I mean, the thing is, you get to the point with the handhelds and, sticking antennas out the window and everything. Eventually, at least in my case, I was like, you got to have the 2 meter, 70 centimeter dual band set up permanently.
Yeah.
I think it's
absolutely. Here's another ham radio prep user just passed tech. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right, we've got we've got LU1VJK saying WRL is the best, guys. These are the comments we just love to read. Thank you so much. We did a little emotional support over the past week. No, I'm kidding. Okay, we've got ON4AEO Philip or Philippe. I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce your name there, but ON4AEO. He posts a ton of stuff on social media. a ton of World Radio League screenshots and map shares and stuff. And he's from Belgium, so welcome. Great to see you. Dave, he's local to me. He just lives a few miles from me. He says it's way more responsive now with the upgrades. That's great to hear.
Excellent.
There's Ken.
Here's Ken at my house, where he's sitting at my command station with my 4 monitors, and I'm showing him some queries in the new database and showing off how fast it is, and we're chatting about the future features we want to build here.
Cool.
Thanks for stopping by, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. Benjamin says, awesome work. Thank you, Benjamin. Appreciate it. Dave says it's the best move we could have made. These comments are a little delayed, by the way, but he says the best move we could have made. And he says the bugs are to be expected. So Jacob liked your analogy about the fish climbing the tree. Yeah, absolutely. We have kind of an inside running joke around that analogy. One of our fantastic developers said that in a meeting one time, and that's been our our description of this whole event ever since. So, okay, so Nate says performance is so much better. That's awesome to hear.
Oh, Postgres is amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Rodney says he understands the update and that it was needed. He'll work through the temporary issues. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you can capture these issues using a screen recording tool, something like loom.com, and like share a link to that screen recording with us, that helps us a ton. So, if you're able to do that, go ahead. If not, totally understand. Just, give us as much information as you're able to. So I'm starring a few y'all's questions as we go down through here. So a little inside joke between me and Terry here. Check out our Discord. I'll shoot a Discord invite link here if any of y'all want to join the Discord. But check out our Discord if you want to see what me and Terry are talking about here with the Energizer Bunny. Yeah, it was a pretty funny conversation. But anyway.
I want to bring up one question. I think this is really going kind of out of the database upgrade and some of the future features here. How long Intel will be able to change the date parameters on the map? WRL is my only logger. Love this, and thanks for using WRL W7YBY. So we call it. It's not a very catchy name, but we're calling this feature the all contacts map. And so you're gonna have a map where you can filter it like QSO Manager, right? So you can say, show me all my contacts in October, or show me all my contacts on SSB on 40 meters in October. And you can, or show me all my contacts from this particular location. So you're gonna have a new view on the contacts where you can add filters and create a map just based on custom conditions. And that map will be across all your logbooks just using your own filters. So new good feature to look forward to.
And it looks like Catalina is in the chat. So welcome, Catalina. Good to see you.
Representing Ham Radio Prep side today.
There we go. Ham Radio Prep. Okay, so Andy Callie in the chat. He's become a regular. Good to see you, Andy. I have to give him a shout out because me and him have the same name. So, so let me hit a few of these questions I've got queued up here, and then we'll come back and get some more. Could we have some sort of audible notification when the rig control changes frequency? Sometimes it does not change, and I end up logging a QSO wrong. So this is a good idea. I think I actually put this one in our queue, but just to make sure, let me go ahead and drop a note in our internal chat here to remind us to get this one in the queue. Where's our? Here we go. Okay, I'll screenshot this and drop it into our internal chat, and then that'll That will remind me to get it, make sure it's in the queue later. This is a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in for team discussion, and then we can get back to you on this one. Absolutely. LU1 VJK says, it's fantastic the work you've done. Are you planning to develop an offline logbook client to enter contacts with the possibility of automatically uploading them later to the World Radio League? James, do you want to speak to this and kind of timeline on what we're looking at here?
Yeah. So we do have a desktop app offline that is already in progress, already has quite a bit of work done. I think our best estimate as of right now is end of 2025, early 2026 for a desktop app.
Yeah.
That's best estimate right now.
Yeah.
So basically, the hardest part of this is having a really good, effective sync mechanism. I think we've learned a lot from the mobile app and syncing those contacts to the web. And so we want to have a really robust design.
Make sure we take our time to get that set up right. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Because once you release it, and if you have any sort of syncing between web and mobile issues, it becomes a pain. So we want to spend a little bit extra time and being very intentional about
make sure that we get that.
That's a great comment there.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's middle of October. It's likely we could be seeing at least a beta candidate out, by the end of the year. That's what we're kind of targeting. But yeah, I would say by early 26, we'll definitely have V1 out. Now, I had a question come through the Discord earlier today or this past weekend, and I wanted to speak to this point. The question was, will Cat Control be directly integrated into the desktop app, or will they be separate apps? So we've got a plan. V1's going to come out. It's going to be your desktop logger. That's basically it. We're going to make sure we have all, everything running smoothly with desktop offline logging, as James just spoke to. Make sure that's all running, storing offline properly, and then syncing online as it should. Everything running smoothly in V1. Then comes V2, where we integrate Cat Control in. That's going to see the end of the Cat Control app, standalone Cat Control app. So that doesn't mean that you won't still be able to use Cat Control on web. It just means that functionality is going to be just integrated directly with the desktop app. So it's just one app download to get all the functionality. So that'll integrate with the desktop app and the web app, either, together. So that's the plan as of right now. And once again, we're going to be seeing a lot of development on that probably here in the next month or two, and then we'll have a lot more information on real specifics as far as what the interface is going to look like and that type of stuff. So yeah, absolutely. And like James said, we probably have 60 to 70% of the desktop app, framework put together. It's just getting that final 40% completed, make sure the database is set up correctly, and make sure that it's good to go and well tested. So absolutely. Anything else on that, James?
No, I think you covered it.
All right. Okay. We got Ben saying, when I operate POTA, I'm 99% of the time out with my daughter. I love the World Radio League, especially for the GPS to Apple Maps navigation, but I can't figure out how to set up a POTA log for dual operators. So let me show you something. Just we're planning on expanding some of this dual op functionality, but we have a really cool feature in the meantime that we've added here. Let me get over here. So when you're out doing a POTA activation and you got a dual op POTA activation, you want to export it, go to your logbook settings. So you're going to open up your logbook, go to logbook settings. You're going to scroll down here to this, or you can click this export option. You're going to scroll down here where it says export log for another operator. Then you just put the other operator's call sign in here, export the ADIF file, and it exports that file completely under their call sign. They can import that into their own World Radio League logbook. They can import it into their own POTA account. It's their ATIF file. So really, really cool functionality we were able to implement. And like I said, we want to expand some more like account to account connection type things as far as multi-op POTA activations or multi-op contesting, that type of thing. But in the meantime, this is a really, really cool way to get your logs where they need to go.
Quick little disclaimer on this. There is a bug with this right now where it will just export.
Okay.
It'll export it for your call sign. It won't have the second one. We're going to try to knock that one out quickly for you, Ben.
I think
so
that one's, yeah, I think that
but that's
one's
exactly what this feature is for.
Yeah.
So if you go out with your daughter, just enter your daughter's call sign in that and click export ATIF.
Absolutely. I would say by the end of the week, this should be working. I think, is that right, James?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Rodney said he got logged out a little bit ago. Rodney, if that happens again, then as soon as you log back in, just submit a bug report right then so that we can track, the console log and everything. That would help us tremendously if you're able to do that. We've got Jacob saying he had the Antarctica contact mapping issue. Sorry about that, Jacob.
Jacob travels a lot, though. Maybe Jacob actually was in Antarctica.
Yeah, maybe he was in Antarctica.
Maybe he was in Antarctica. It would be a great way to get everybody to get that rare DX,
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm just kidding, Jacob. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, thank you. Dave says he's also having a few cat control issues. Dave, if you're able to either ping me offline or shoot me a note as to what you're seeing there, that would be fantastic. So James is saying, how can I fix my logs? Missing serial sent from the Pennsylvania QSO party. So I think this is.
I know this one's in progress.
Yeah, yes. I think I saw some internal chat about this one. I'm thinking this is on the export side and not the logs. I think the serial numbers are in the logs. They're just not exporting in the Cabrillo. So Brad K4AZE, I think he's working on this one with one of the developers, and this one should be fixed in the next little bit here. So I think the developer that was working on this one got hung up in an airport earlier today, so it might be like later today before he got to it. But yeah, that one should be fixed really soon. I can check with Brad on that one. We've got Nate saying logs of contact Saturday. Don't see them in World Radio League, but they did sync to QRZ. Looks like so. I think, Nate, that this happened. Because you were using an old version of the mobile app, possibly. I don't know if you were using the mobile app or Cat Control app or the web app, but if you were using the mobile app or the Cat Control app, make sure that you have the latest version of those apps. Looks like
that's our fault. We actually meant to put like a block screen that would do the force upgrade so that everything would go to the new database, but that code failed. So if you didn't, so our bad on that, Nate. But it should. So if once you upgrade, I think everything will everything will keep.
Looks like he was able to restore his own contacts. So great work, Nate. But yeah, if you want to, just make sure you're updated to the latest mobile and Cat Control apps there. High Tech Redneck says he had the Antarctica error too, but he purged the QSO and re-entered it and it fixed the problem. So okay, good to know. I think we're gonna like run a bulk process just to probably do something similar on the back end, but all the data's there, so we can just we can pull that pretty easily. Let's see here. Rosanna is asking how to log POTA and SOTA on a logbook. So I don't know if you're using the mobile app or the web app, but I'm going to show you using the web app, and a lot of these things are, they're going to be pretty comparable in the mobile app. So basically, to do a POTA activation or SOTA activation, you just click this Start POTA Activation button right here. If you're in your park already, you can just click Find My Park. Otherwise, let's see here. I got to enable the location permissions here. There we go. Click Find My Park. And this is a new browser I just started using, so it's got permission issues going on. But if I go ahead and enter the park number 10215, that's a local one to me, then it just pulls it right up. I click on it, it sets all the location data correctly, and then I can just put in a frequency, and it enters the mode for me. I click Start Logging. So that's how to do a POTA activation. It just pulls it right up, and then you just start logging like a normal logbook. If you're doing a park to park, you've got that right here. You can click their park and enter their park number, 10214. There we go. Just pop that in right there like that. But yeah, absolutely. Really, really slick and easy to set up. Now, if you're doing a SOTA activation, just create the new logbook. Then you can add the activity POTA or SOTA or Worldwide Flora and Fauna if you're doing that down here. And, you just enter the summit location. I think it's still having permission issues or something. Anyway, here it is. You can just go ahead and enter the summit location, and it populates that location information correctly for you here. Put a logbook name in and click save, and you're good to go. So, yeah, absolutely. All right. So we've got, next one is from Jason saying, hey, y'all doing a good job with World Radio League. Thank you, Jason. We really appreciate that very, very much. So thank you for hopping in here. By all means, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Y'all are typing them in way too fast. Give me just a second to get caught back up here. Okay, we've got Michigan Adventures saying QRZ is not syncing contacts from World Radio League after the update. Make sure your API key is in there. I think the update to the new database, when it updated, the API keys weren't all updated. So you might want to hop in there and make sure your API key is in place. So Nate says, loving cat control with my 7300. Set it up yesterday and it made logging so much easier. Yes, cat control, when you get it set up, it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. I'm so sorry. This is the user that just passed their technician test after studying with ham radio prep, but they can't get their call sign because currently the U.S. government is shut down and the FCC isn't issuing call signs at the moment. So yes, I think on the Ham Radio Prep YouTube channel, Jim posted a couple of short videos on this, but yeah, it's as long as the government shut down, the FCC is not issuing new call signs. If you're already a technician, you're upgrading to General or Amateur Extra. You can use the Stroke AG or Stroke AE and operate with your new privileges after you get your certificate of successful completion. But if you're not a tech yet and you're trying to get your tech, then it's very annoying. So all right, we've got Jim found Ken and Professor Jim at Melbourne. So that's fantastic. Good to hear. I think this is the one that we answered a little bit ago. The date parameters on the map. So that's a very good call. We've got that one definitely on the roadmap. So Eric says, World Radio League is now my go-to logger. Thanks for all of your hard work. Nice. Thank you, Eric. Awesome. Appreciate it. Okay, so Jacob says, is there a bug with the offline database on the maps not showing all the contacts or showing several in the same location? I've had that happen this weekend. So Jacob, are you able to, can you like send me a screenshot on Discord of one of these maps that has this issue? That way we can review it internally and see what exactly what's going on. That would.
Yeah, I don't think we know exactly in that one because we know about the Antarctica one, but I don't know if this is the first one I'm seeing of this one.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Michael and Ken, this is from earlier. They're on a 10-park rove on Lake Erie. That is so cool. Nice. That is so awesome. Guys, make sure you join our Discord if you haven't yet. Quick side note here. we are in now, as of like right after this call, we're enforcing our naming convention rule over on Discord. So you have to have your name, your first name, and if you have a call sign, whether ham radio or GMRS call sign, you have to have those in your Discord profile name. If you don't, you need to put no call sign in parentheses in your Discord profile name. If we're getting a lot of users, and we're trying to make sure we don't get any spam users or any spam bots. I've seen that happen before, and it's very annoying. And so we're trying to keep things secure and running smoothly here. So we're gonna start having to kick some users who don't comply here. If you don't comply by shortly after the stream, then we're going to be reviewing these, and you might get kicked out. So be sure and get your profile name set properly for that. We want to have everybody we can in the Discord, but we want it to also be a nice, secure community without a bunch of spam and nonsense going on. So just do that to help us out if you can. So thank you. Johnny says, thanks for the upgrade fix of the date field. LA60EA. Fantastic. You're very welcome, Johnny. Any future feature requests for log ISS TV connection?
AKA Ham TV. I believe they're calling it Ham TV. That's really cool. This is the first I've heard of this feature request, actually. But I did have a chance to interview one of the engineers from Eris at one of the Ham Fest, and he talked and gave some information about the Ham TV that's running on the ISS. But we'll take this as a feature request, Lise. But yeah, I think you're the first person that's mentioned this.
Hold on here. Ham TV on the ISS. Explain this to me. That's I'm not sure I've heard of this before.
I mean, it's let me see if I can give you a little bit more information here. So if you go to the Eris website, they have information about the Ham TV DATV transmitter.
Okay. I heard this was coming, but I didn't know it was there yet.
Okay, hold on a second though. I think maybe it's not. It might not be operational right now. They might still be. Okay. They might be getting it up now.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I think it's in process of. I just remembered. I think Jim was telling me about this the other day or something.
But yeah, I believe they're bringing it back.
That is so cool.
Maybe there's another update. Yeah, I really would love to experiment with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm going to grab your comment, and we're going to throw it in our internal discussion, because this is like we said, this is definitely in the future, since it's probably not operational currently, but as when that time comes, it's something we were definitely be interested in looking at. So okay, this is a cool one. I would really love if the log remembered the name I put in for people who I worked. We have a call sign notes field. So let me show you this this call sign notes field really quickly here. Let me get it pulled up. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so if I put in a call sign N0WRL, you can see here I've already got a call sign note in here, HRP and WRL boss. I can click view. I can change this note, edit it and save it. But this is like a static note. So whatever you put in there about this user, you log contact. Next time you enter that user's call sign, that note pops back up again. So yeah, that's the closest thing we have to what you're suggesting here. We have like our lookup services. A couple of our lookup services will actually pull their name if you have those lookup services turned on, but it will actually pull the user's name in. But this is if you want like a separate name note or something, just a note about this particular user, you can put it in there.
Quick note here too. You'll notice that there's, I think in your logger, can you zoom in a little bit?
I can try.
Let's see what happens. I don't know if it'll. Um, yeah, so you see there's a notes field in the logger itself. So click that, click the bubble on the
Yeah,
notes field in the
yeah.
logger. So this is notes about the contact, right? But
Hmm.
it's not gonna, if you could say, hey, this was, he was operating from, here, or he told me this, you might want to put it there. But if you would say there's two different kinds of notes, you have the notes about the contact, you have notes about the user. If you want to
Exactly. Yeah.
save the notes about the other person, it's better to do it in the one that Andy showed you, because
Yeah.
now,
Mhm.
so you click my profile if you would,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you go to my profile page. So you'll see that you have your notes on their profile page too. So now anytime you go to their profile, you also have the notes that you wrote about them. So I generally use that field more than I even use the notes about the contact
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. And this is also really cool too, because I can pull this up and I can click this button that says how many QSOs I have with that user, and it will pull up my my QSO manager.
Do you remember we made that contact? Remember we tuned our radios? I think
That was
we I
awesome.
think we were actually just talking live over the phone or something.
We broke the winter field day rules. No, I'm kidding. That was so fun. Yeah, we were like live on a call, and then we both tuned our radios to the same frequency, made the contact, then came back to the call. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
that was hilarious. And that's from Missouri to Georgia. So I mean, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kind of,
it
I
was,
mean,
it
that's
was
like a
actually really
targeted
fun.
HF contact. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Missouri to Georgia is kind of a hard one to make on, especially on 20 meters, because lots of times 20 meters goes farther. So we're like in that zone where it just like usually skips right over. But in
Yeah.
this case, it actually worked. It actually worked. So, uh, so yeah, absolutely, really cool. Um, Gary's in the house. Good to see you, Gary. He's a regular. Um, Thank you very much. I love Ham Radio Prep. I keep recommending to some friends. One is in the Carolinas, another in Arizona. That's awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. Poto Power in the house. Hey, Vaughn and Julie. Great to see you. Great to see you both.
What is up, y'all?
Um,
Thanks for taking good care of Jim at the Melbourne Ham Fest. Professor Jim in for BFR with Poda Power actually having a good time down in South Florida.
yeah. So Peter's saying I still show a 4-day streak and a 7-week streak. Now, let me hit this from two directions. Number one, um, the weekly streak is you just literally have to log. You don't have to log a contact every day of the week. You just have to log a contact once a week. So you can be logging one contact every week, and then suddenly 4 days in a row on the last week, and that'll show the 4-day streak and the 7-week streak. Now, if you're saying that your streak should show something else, then I think make sure you've got a bug report in on that, and we'll. I'm not sure if you've submitted a bug report on this, or if I'm not sure which way you're meaning this. So we'll if you've got a bug report in on this, we'll make sure that your streak is correct. But
Yeah. So like if you that's a really good point. So like if you logged every day on Wednesday, but you didn't log every day, you wouldn't have any daily streaks because
yeah,
you're not
every
logging
week
every
on
day.
Wednesday,
But
not
you'd
every
have a
day.
weekly streak because like
Yeah.
maybe some people want to just log once per week, or
Mhm.
maybe a couple days a week, but not
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Rob's a regular. He's back in the house. Good to see you, Rob. Um, let's see here. Absolutely. I'm not sure of your name, but LU1VJK, you're very welcome. Yes, it's definitely a paradigm shift, and we are glad to be the ones presenting it. So, um, let's see here. What else do we have? Dave's asking when he can stop using ADIF Master. Stay tuned. We have some exciting things coming. Keep a lookout. Let's just say, yeah, let's just say we got some exciting things coming. So hopefully sooner rather than later. um, Poto Power's asking if we had any issues with the dual op feature. I think this was before we made the clarification earlier that yes, we are having a few issues, but those should be resolved by the end of the week. So, um, Rob says the only contacts I'm having problems with since the update now is moving satellite contacts from N3FJP. I have to add them one by one to World Radio League. The satellite option still needs work. This is something I don't think we considered in the when we developed the satellite option, was the sync to N3FJP. I honestly am not a big N3FJP user, so I did not know that they even had a satellite option. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in our internal chat, and we're going to take a look at this and make sure we get that taken care of as best we can. So thank you, Rob. Very very good to know. Also, when I confirm Julian Vaughn from PotaPower, it only confirms Vaughn. Julie, you need to be uploading your logs to the logbook whenever you and Vaughn go to an activation. Yes, I've had the same thing happen, Dave. I think they're logging on Vaughn's account and then not getting the logs moved over to Julie's account. So, Julie, get your logs imported. No, if you need any help with that, ping me offline and we can walk through that moving from one account to another using that ADIF option. So all right, what else do we have? Okay, Peter says he shows 40 plus days consecutive on the heat map and 4 days on the header. Okay, Peter. All right, as long as you have a bug report logged with us, we'll get that taken care of for you. That's a pretty easy fix. So yeah.
One thing to note though is, Peter, I think that if any of the contacts, in order for it to be a streak, they have to be all logged within WRL too. So and I think they have to actually be logged on the day. So if you go, so like let's say that you you miss a day and then you go backwards and log it for the day previously, then I don't know what's your case without exactly looking at it, but there are cases where it could show it on the heat map. But if the contact was imported or if it was entered on a different day, it may not show. But if you create a report for us, we'll definitely look into it for you.
We'll look at it, absolutely. Terry's saying we should switch to dog control since we're having issues with cat control. So
agreed. Totally agreed.
Cat control is kind of a universal pain, and we're trying to make it as smooth as possible, but in the process we're having to use, so far we've had to use some third-party libraries. We are hoping to, once we get past some things like the V1 of the desktop app and everything, we're hoping to get some upgrades to maybe not have to use some of the third-party libraries we're using for cat control, but and that might make things a little smoother, but we'll see once we get there. We've got Nate says he was using the iPad app, did not see an update even yesterday. I think, as long as you're on, I think it's 1.1.9, maybe, I think it's the version we're on. Just make sure, there's no updates in the App Store. As long as you're updated to the latest version, then you're good. Dave, you like seeing dark mode? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I have it on right now. I need to change that, but no, I'm kidding. Okay, so here's one. My logbook for my hunted POTA activators is now on the second page of the table. Can we have the ability to favorite logbooks so they always float to the top? This is on the docket. In fact, I'm going to throw this into our chat to make sure we get this prioritized properly. But yes, this is on the roadmap. This is something I want desperately because I've got tons of open logbooks. So I think I've got. Well, anyway, I'm trying to find it here. Logbooks. Yeah, I think I've got 80 logbooks open. So this is something I really need too. But thank you for.
Yeah, I will say sorting, filtering, favorites, all coming to the logbooks, all designed, all absolutely. Just pending us to push through these bugs first.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. When hunting and an activator is in two parks, how do I put that in my log? Okay, that one's easy. So if you're hunting an activator that's in two parks, you're going to click. Let me share my screen real quick to demo this. You're going to click their park, And then you're just going to enter both parks here. So I can put 10214 and 10215 both in here, and just click them in the list here, and it adds them both to this. And then you just click this to close it, and it'll say multiple parks here, and you can log the contact. So,
all right, guys, I am gonna have to step away from the live stream, but
absolutely no worries.
first of all, big thanks to Andy for doing the live streams. I always have a blast, that I learn so much every time I'm joined. I'm gonna try to make as many of these as I absolutely can.
Oh, you're
And
welcome
second of all,
anytime.
thank you everybody for all the support and for the patience during the database upgrade. It's been absolutely crazy.
Awesome.
Myself and many other members of the team, we worked all weekend. We worked all Saturday. We worked all Sunday. We're working early mornings and late nights as hard as we can to get everything wrapped up so that we can get back to focusing on the new features. And so keep those bug reports coming if you run into any issues, and keep the feature requests coming too in the community. And 73 guys, talk soon.
7-3, James. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to keep rolling here. Brian says that when doing a park to park with someone and a 2 for 3 for or more for, it would be useful to be able to type the list as comma separated. Yes, this is on the roadmap. Comma separated is coming. This is we're super excited about being able to implement this. But yeah, once again, just pending developer time. And yeah, it's most certainly on the list for very much want to implement that. So give me 1 second here. All right. In fact, let me just, as a team reminder, let me go ahead and grab that. We've got Billy saying, any way you can let us filter our spot results by what class we are. Cool thinking, Billy. Let me grab that one too. Yeah, I've don't worry. I've absolutely chased extra portion activators with a general class license before and realized that only either when I was in the middle of the contact or after. So, all right. Thank you, Jacob. I'll take a look at that here shortly. Also having a problem with CureZ API integration, keeps forgetting my key. I've taken it over and Brad is working on it. Yes, absolutely. When he's not busy trying to join us in the Daily Street Club. Yeah, absolutely. We have a Daily Street Club running that some of our users have formed, the top 5, and they're very protective of their group. They only let the current top 5 streak holders in their top 5 alumni aren't even allowed. So I think Brad's in there currently, and 4 other operators logging every day. But yeah, it's really cool. So great work, guys. AI4ZD, thank you for clarifying. I was unsure of your call sign. I appreciate it. A satellite contact tab or view for VUCC, and in map view with grid satellites work for map share view. Okay. All right. We've got the Philippines in V5H. Welcome, Ron. Got Travis looking forward to the desktop app to install on a new Linux Mint laptop. Cool. Yeah, I've tried Linux Mint before. I'm not sure if I've got a computer with it installed right now or not. I almost think I do, but yeah, absolutely. I didn't stick with it for very long. If I had, I would probably liked it better, but I'm so busy right now that I do most of my work on a Mac. Most of my work here, I have another location where I've got a Windows computer, and I also have a Windows laptop, but I far prefer Mac above Windows. Sorry. I know that's going to start a comment storm probably, but that's just the way it is. And Dave, you can just stay out of this one. No, I'm kidding you. All right. So Ron says been away from radio for a while. Looking forward to getting back on and using the app. Cool. That's awesome. Caleb says missed most of the stream, probably. Anyways, good to see you. Good to see you too, Caleb. Very good to see you. James just dropped. We're gonna be going for another few minutes here. Probably not too much longer, but yeah, you can feel free to go back and watch the stream. We gave you a shout out earlier, so glad to see you, Caleb. Rob says they don't have that option. All other contacts come through SSB, FT8, CW, but not satellite. Okay, all right. Here's clarification on the Ham TV. Ham TV ISS restart image transmission in 1713 UTC to 20 October for transmitting series 30 images even. Okay, cool. That's really neat. Rick says he's a ham since 1968. That's awesome, Rick. And yes, there's a lot of new hams joining the hobby. So really fantastic. Okay, so could you explain why we would want multiple logbooks? Sorry, I'm very new. No worries whatsoever. So I normally create a logbook for each month just to keep them separate so I can like find particular, something that's the way I do it. It's not at all required. But what is kind of recommended is creating a new logbook for each POTA activation. That keeps your POTA stats within World Radio League tracked easier. It also keeps your exports easier, that type of thing. And a new logbook for every contest. Once again, stats and exports. So I would recommend creating a new logbook for each POTA activation, SOTA activation, contest. That keeps each one of those kind of in its own file. And you can always jump over to QSO Manager and see all your contacts in one spot. So that's the way I do it. All right, let's see here. All right. So Don says, joined World Radio League a month or so ago, but have not explored the site much. How do I find the Discord server? Right here. Dropping it in the comments now. Well, trying to anyway. There we go. Discord invite link. There you go. There you go, Don. Right there. Everybody's saying 7-3 to James. Dave had to get back to work. Absolutely understand, Dave. 73. Terry says, when hunting and two activators are working together, is there a way to log that without switching to the other one in the spotter? Not currently. We're working on we will be very soon working on a comma separated entry there. In fact, I think we had like a little bit of preliminary work done on this, but we don't have that one implemented yet. But comma separated logging for multi-op is coming, so that'll make that a whole lot easier. So thanks, Terry. That also speaks to this AG5CC comment. Any update on multi-op support? So we log POTA as W2RRC club, but need each op's QSOs tracked and exportable separately, not the whole log. Okay, I get where you're coming from. That's really cool. So, okay, very, very good. So we spoke a little bit to this earlier, but I'm going to pull this comment in so that we can discuss this as a team and make sure we have the correct approach pulled there. Caleb saying definitely rewatch the stream. Thanks. Absolutely, Caleb. And once again, everybody, if you're joining the Discord, please set your Discord name for our server. It doesn't have to be your global Discord name, but for our server to include your first name and either your ham radio or GMRS call sign if you have one. If you don't have one yet, just put no call sign in parentheses in that Discord name, and then you can add your call sign once you get it. But we're going to be filtering through these later today, and we don't want to have to kick any real users, but we're going to kick some accounts that don't have those names set properly because we're trying to keep this thing secure, no bots, nothing like that. So please do that. And if you need any help, just ping me directly on Discord. You can even send me a DM, say, hey, I'm having trouble with this. How do I do it? I'll walk you through the process. So Ronnie says, any suggestions on importing my QRZ or LOTW contacts back in as they come from about 15 World Radio League loggers and it wants one logbook referenced? So, are they already logged in World Radio League? Are they? I'm trying to understand why you're importing them back in after you already exported them. Just trying to understand your scenario here. I understand for confirmations after we get that implemented, not implemented yet, but after we get that implemented, the additional confirmations, not the original confirmations. The original confirmations are implemented, but dupe or confirmations for contacts that already exist in your account, that's coming. Okay, so for confirmations for accounts or for QSOs that are already in your account, that's coming very soon. But that is a very good point. Thank you, Rodney. We're gonna make sure we get this put together correctly, so the import or so that the confirmations all go to the right spot. Philip is asking, is it possible to add lighthouses? Yes, we've got lighthouses on the air in the roadmap, ready to be developed whenever we have some dev time for that. We've got a ton of super exciting things in the roadmap. So, Swamper KB4 SWP. We prefer that you put your first name there if that's like your nickname, and you're going to be just realize that you're going to be referred to as that probably at some point. But if that's your nickname, I don't know. We were trying to keep this thing as straightforward as possible. So, but you can put that in there for now, and I'll we'll make a determination later, and if we come to that determination, then I'll definitely let you know before we just kick you. I'll chat with you first, but you can do that for now, and we can chat with you later if we need to change it. But all right, guys, what else do y'all want to talk about? We're just over an hour, so if you have any questions, throw them in the chat now. We're getting ready to drop here soon, so we gave y'all our updates from last week's upgrade and kind of a sneak peek at some things to come. So, not seeing any comments coming yet. Giving you all 10 more seconds, starting now. There we go. Rodney says, can we create one overall log in World Radio League that contains all QSOs and doesn't count as duplicate? And that one is the external sync log. That is basically QSO Manager. I'm thinking the way this is going to work is it's not going to matter because it scans, the import process scans your entire system for duplicates. So I think when it finds those duplicates, it can just, no matter what logbook they're in, it can put the confirmations over the top of them. But and then any new contacts just get imported into whatever logbook you select. I think that's the process it's going to follow. So that should work for you. 7-3 Jacob, good to see you. Thank you. We've got AI4ZD saying idea on the last question. If you make a contact out of your license band, then you get a discount. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's hilarious. Thank you for that. Absolutely great idea. Brilliant idea. Thank you very much. I don't see that happening right away, but you never know. Absolutely. Thank you, users, for being awesome. You guys are fantastic. We appreciate you so much. Thank you all. Thank you for joining the stream today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to hop in here and just we love doing these streams because it gives us a really good really good way to communicate with y'all and a good feel for what you guys are thinking. And it helps us out a ton to be able to do this. Once again, we do these things pretty much every Monday as we can. So be looking for a notification for next week. If something comes up, it's not set in stone. Time's not set in stone. We just try to push out a notification sometime a few hours, 2 to 3 to a few hours before the stream, and get you guys notified that this is coming. So absolutely, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate every one of you. And keep sending in any reports you have for us. We're working on it. We've got an excellent team of developers that are just hammering on these things, getting them knocked out. So 7-3, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your week, and go log contacts. Hope to get you in the log soon. 7-3 from November 0 Alpha Papa X-Ray. I'm Andy, and I'm Claire.